So there's been a lot of crazy stuff that's been going on. If you're a YouTuber and you watch a lot of YouTube and you've hit some of the political stuff, yeah, a lot of stuff is hitting the fan, and there's a good reason for it. People get stressed out when they see stuff, right? So it's reactionary. It's important for you to understand yourself and the triggers, especially if you're younger. It's important for you to understand what triggers you and the fact that people intentionally try to trigger you. And so you are actually being used to further other people's careers, especially in politics. The political landscape has changed over the years. And because you're young, you don't have that perspective yet. And you will get that perspective as things change over time. As you get into your 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, you'll see how things change over time, and you'll have a more broad, experienced, or experiential, however you say that word, viewpoint, so you can understand things better. It depends on who you are, though. Men and women see things differently, and men and women have a wide spectrum. Some people are, on the crazy end, where they are always hysterical and, on the edge of psychosis. Other people are calm and reasonable and relaxed. Either gender. There's more probably on the female gender, on the hysterical side, than there are men. But then on the men's side, I think a lot of men get angry, quiet angry usually, than women do. Women are more vocal, men are quieter, right? Men are more reasonable, and women are more emotional. So it's important for us to kind of understand ourselves, and especially, your gender as part of it, your environment, how you were raised as a kid, your parents, what kind of parents do you have? Did you have parents? This environment you were raised in, the things you learned from school, from your friends, all this stuff shapes who you're going to be. Your biology, though, I think is most important in developing and most influential in your personality and the kind of person you become as you grow into an adult and get older. Your parents, the heredity, the biology has a lot to do with that. But you have some control over who you are, who you become, and especially you have total control over your response to things. And so if I say something, I think this, I think that, and you get mad about it because you disagree, instead of getting mad about it, listen to the other perspective and understand that other person's perspective comes because of a lot of factors that have made them think this way. It's another person. Every person has their own perspective. And so it's important for us to stop with the I'm right, you're wrong mentality, is to, is not, all that stuff. Please just stop being childish, because that's exactly what that is. It's second grade playground bullying. It's petty. And so if we could mature into adults, learn self-control, learn how to monitor our own emotions, learn how to be quiet and listen without being triggered, that would be good. Also, we need to allow others to share their opinions without interruption. So all of these things are part of civilized society, and they're really important, especially in political situations. It has to do with our values. Religion is in a similar way. They all trigger our emotions that are attached to our values. So think about what your values are. You could even write them down. What do you believe is true? and notice how that changes over time. Make your own journal. This is what I believe today. And write down the date and write down like 10 or 20 things that you think are true and things that you believe are right or wrong, and then come back to that maybe in a month and see if it's still true, and see if your perspective changes over time. So that's all I have for now. Hopefully this is helpful to someone. Why do I want to be helpful to someone? Because we all live on this planet together, and it's much more fun, for the limited time that we have, it's much more fun if we all get along, we all help each other, we're cooperative instead of conflicted, right? And we learn from each other. Like, what do you think? What's your perspective, right? Asking questions, trying to draw out other people's perspectives and learning from them instead of being hostile and saying, well, you're wrong. You're wrong and I'm right. Notice how childish that is when you can see outside of the emotional state. So your first objective is to gain self-control over your own mind. And yes, you can do that. And once you have control over your own mind, you can also control your own emotions. This is willpower. So strengthen your willpower to control your mind, your own mind. Don't let others control your mind. You control your own mind, and you choose what emotion you have, what you want to think about. And practice doing that so that you can have a stronger mind and so that you can control your emotions and stay focused on what is really going on. Because people today, especially on social media, are looking to see who they can trigger. In case you haven't noticed. So don't be the sucker that gets triggered and the tool, don't be the tool of someone else who is intentionally trolling you and trying to control what you believe and what you think. Media does this, the news, the supposed news. Just notice the words they use to trigger people, the perspectives, how they cherry pick. Learn about these things, and talk to Grok. Ask Grok questions about how the media tries to manipulate us, and social media as well, so you can get a more balanced perspective on things and learn how to think for yourself. So I'll do more videos, but that's really coming from my heart. This is not scripted. I'm 60 years old now, and I have a sociology degree and secondary education, so this comes second nature to me to talk about this stuff. But you have to fight for any kind of authority. Like if you want to be a pastor or a teacher, you have to be a bully, literally, to be able to get into those positions so that people will listen to you. And then when they listen to you, they feel obligated to listen to you. And I don't like that. I like the idea of leadership not being a boss. There's a huge difference. You want to follow people that you see as good leaders. You feel oppressed by people that are bosses, like employers, right? Or even your pastor who says that you can't do this and you're not allowed to do that. So, all right, I need to cut it off here, and I'll have more later. Hope you enjoyed.